I am live. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. This is my channel. My name is Megan McCarthy. I'm here with Charlie Dorset. Do you
Hey,
want to
hey.
introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. My name is Charlie. I do streams on my
Oh,
channel
hold on.
every.
Charlie
Oops.
Dorset. Forgot to turn that off. Okay, continue.
I do streams on my channel every Wednesday and Friday, starting at roughly 5 Eastern. The Wednesday ones typically start at 6, depending on whether or not the Sims 3 play is going on over on Meta's channel or not. I also just do way too many podcasts and stuff, and I'm currently working on like all the books. I feel like I'm writing all the books right now, but more is going to be coming out, particularly in my sci-fi setting, and you can find links to everything that I'm doing at projectshadow.com.
Oh, that'll be fun to check out your sci-fi stuff. I haven't checked it out yet. I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this because I have an idea, I have a plan, and it's actually like I'm getting words on it.
Hmm.
Like that's been the problem that I've been having for a little bit is like I'll have a story entirely worked out, and then my brain is just like a dial tone when it comes time to actually
Hmm.
get
Yeah,
work
because you
done.
like to pants your work, right?
Yeah, I typically I'm more of an in-betweener in that I usually know the beginning, middle, and end of a story, and sometimes some other plot points in there, but I don't like full on outline.
Hmm.
But lately my brain has just been a dial tone when I go to write,
Oh no.
which is not helpful when you're trying to write. But this story is working and flowing, so I'm just running with it.
Oh, that's good.
And hopefully I will have it done in the not too distant future.
That'll be good. Um, okay, so let's see. Do we want to do a sprint to start us off? Because I'm so far behind. I need to get some words in. Um, I'm like 4,000 behind on my word count. So, um,
I am here for all the sprints. I'm secretly still recategorizing stuff in the background.
okay. So I was thinking of doing a 15-minute to start. I always like to do a 15-minute to start. Let me get the timer set up. Oop, nope, not 10 minutes, 15 minutes. There we go. Let me set up, share the screen. Okay, is it sharing? Because I can't see.
I am seeing it.
Okay, good. So I'm going to start the timer and we will get started.
Woohoo!
All right, how did everybody do? I got, let me see, I got 149 words that time.
I actually finished recategorizing everything. So, yay.
Oh, wow.
It didn't take as long as I thought it was going to. I thought it was going to be sitting all day doing this. But I got into a groove.
That's good. Well, that's good to hear because you said you
Yeah.
were expecting to work on that for quite a
Well, it was a
while.
long list,
So,
but I got into a rhythm. I put a video on that had a very good cadence to it, and I was just like, swipe down, click, swipe up, type, swipe down, click, swipe up, type. And it just like, I got into a rhythm. It just all the way through.
well, that's good. So let's see. Bree showed up. She says, "Hey there, I'll be writing next sprint, but OMG, I couldn't find the stream to save my life, even being subscribed to you." Yeah, I had for some reason trouble finding
Same.
the stream as well.
Yeah,
Um, it was very difficult to find. So hopefully people can find. I see
yeah.
4 people at least have found it. One of them
Out
is
of
me. I
frustration,
know
I
that.
tweeted it out and put it on my Instagram and Facebook. Like,
Oh,
because I'm like,
thank
why is
you.
it so hard to find? Here's links.
I don't know. YouTube just didn't like this video for some reason. And then Stephanie is dropping in a like. She'll be back after Nikki's stream. And then Bree says, I just finished one of the panels for Y'all Right. What is Y'all Right? Do you know, Charlie?
Um, I am not too familiar with them, but people were talking about it yesterday. They're doing, if I remember correctly, it's a bunch of, at least right now, young adult writers that are
Hmm.
talking about the process of getting published and writing and all of that.
Oh,
At least
that's
that's what,
fun.
at least that's what was going on yesterday. Because
Hmm.
I think Catherine was doing the Y'all Right panels yesterday.
Catherine who?
Catherine Fay.
Oh,
She,
okay.
she was attending them. She wasn't
Oh,
on
okay.
one of the panels.
Oh, okay.
But that was the
Interesting.
first I had heard of them. But
Yeah, I haven't heard of it either, but then again, I'm really far behind. Let's
when
see.
I'm like desperately unplugged,
It's usually an in-person book festival called Y'all Fest in Charleston, but because they can't have it in person, it's online, and yes, it was yesterday too. Oh,
cool.
interesting. That sounds like so much fun. I'm gonna have to check it out. Except I don't really write YA, but they might have valuable information.
Just so nobody worries about me, my internet gets weird when we get like really heavy rain, and it's like crazy heavy raining right now.
Oh,
So if
wow.
I just like randomly disappear, everything's fine. It's just, you know, I live in a
Mhm.
country where the internet doesn't work when the ground gets wet.
That's I wonder why that is. I know that, the clouds cover can sometime mess with the internet, but
Well, I know the last time we had somebody out here, and I'm wondering how if they didn't trace it back to some of its sources, the actual connector that connected the internet to our house, the actual
mhm.
place where the wire from outside connected to inside, was completely rusted through. Like he was surprised that we were
Oh.
getting a signal at all. And because it was so badly corroded, anytime it rained, it would get wet on the inside of it, and then the internet would go out.
Oh.
But I'm wondering how much of the infrastructure is in that state.
Yes, yeah.
Because he
That
replaced ours and it got better, but it still goes out every now and then when it rains.
mm. So it looks like Devin is here. Hello, Devin.
It's now
Glad
officially
you
a
could make
stream.
it. Exactly. Think you said you were stream hopping for 3 streams. Is it now up to 4 streams or potentially more? Bree says, I think they are posting all the panels on their YouTube channel afterwards, but I do read a lot of YA and it's fun to listen to the authors talk about their process. I bet it is. It's always interesting listening to authors talk about their process and how to go about being an author.
Yeah, I'm
Bree says, "Hey,
fascinated by it.
Devin." Hmm.
And that's kind of where I'm at. Is I showed it off on my stream the other day, but I'm so happy about it. I'm actually going to turn my camera back on just to show it off again. All the noises. I just got a whole bunch of new blank
Ooh.
journals that
Ooh.
I am contemplating handwriting my stories again. And
Oh.
because I love handwriting, I really love handwriting. And I was listening to a talk that Neil Gaiman was doing, and he handwrites all of his books too. And then he uses the
Oh.
moment when he types it up as the kind of first edit
Mm-hmm.
of the story. And I'm like, oh, that's such a neat idea. So I'm debating whether or not the story I'm about to start writing is going to go into one of these, or if I'm going to start typing it, because
I'm surprised I didn't know that Neil Gaiman reads all or writes all his stuff by hand, because I even follow him on Tumblr. He's very active on
yes,
Tumblr.
he is.
It's very nice to be able to have that direct access to someone like that.
That's actually how he met his wife,
Oh
because
yeah.
she was working on a concept album that had a full story in it, and she was a fan of his writing, and Amanda Palmer wanted to talk to an actual writer about writing process to make sure she was doing the story parts of the album right.
Mm-hmm.
And so she sent him a Tumblr ask, and he just like gave a very cursory answer. And then she found out that a friend of hers actually knew him and was like, "Can you just like text him and say that I really need some help?" He started helping her work on her concept album, the story for her concept album, and love was in the air.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's great.
yeah, they actually got together because of writing advice.
Wow.
She tells the story in her what's her book? The Power of Asking, I think.
I don't think it's in that one, because I have that book. I
Well,
love
that one's just
the art
covered
of
in
asking in it.
Yeah, the art of asking. She tells the story. Oh, I know what it is. I think she tells the story in the TED Talk that the art of asking was based on, or the
Oh,
one that she did right after it. But and I've heard
I
Neil
don't
tell
know,
his
because I've
version of
seen
it.
that one too, and I don't remember it. So maybe I'm just not remembering, which is a total possibility, because
It's too cutesy.
I
That might be it. Like it's like the modern "You've Got Mail." Like,
Mhm.
can you help
Yeah.
me work on my story? Oh, but now I love you. Let us get married and have all the wonderful craziness.
Yeah, my memory is so bad, though. I used to read, The Three Musketeers, like, every year, and then I just read it, I took a break from it, and then I just started reading it a couple months ago, and I'm like, "I don't remember any of this story."
I'm gonna have to read that book again. I have not read it in so long, and I remember loving it so much.
For some reason, I just couldn't remember, oh god, now I can't remember her name. Um, I what's it Milady? Is that her name
I think
in the
so.
book? Yeah, I couldn't remember her at all in the book, and she plays such a huge part in it, and for some reason, her role in the story just I completely forgot about.
I just reread Peter Pan because that
Mhm,
again is one of my favorite books. Because do not judge the book by the movies. The movies are nothing like the book. The book, the book is so like dark and sinister, and Tinkerbell is such a nasty, nasty little fairy. I love her so much. But I just reread that because I'm kind of in a reread the classics kind of a place right now,
mhm,
because my brain is not retaining a lot of new story. Like every time I try to read a new story, I get confused and then have to start over because I forgot what's going on.
mhm.
I'm really having a problem with that lately. But like with the classics, like I could just like breeze through them because already know the basic contours.
Mhm.
So I'm not having as big a problem getting lost.
Yeah, I've been having this similar problem too, with not being able to get into new stories. Like, I have, um, Your Heart is a Your Heart is a Muscle the Size of a Fist, which is a really good book, but I just haven't been able to get into it. I'm only on page what page am I on? I'm only on page 42, but so far it's a pretty good book. Um, but I haven't been able to get into that. That and I've been trying to read Abigail's book, and I've gotten like maybe a third of the way in through, and I just haven't been able to focus enough
It's a
to retain the stories.
See, that's the problem for me is it's a retention thing. Like I started work on this lit RPG story, so I bought the audiobook of like 3 different lit RPG books that I could like listen to in a sitting because a lot of lit
Mhm.
RPG books are really small, and I could like listen to them in a sitting, and I would sit there, and that would be like all I would do is like have it on in the background and either like do dishes, clean house, or play a game or something.
Mhm.
So I wasn't like distracted from them. And then I would get to the end and be like, what was that book about? Like it's not like no judgment on the author. Like I remember enjoying it in the moment
Mhm.
as I was going through. It's just I got to the end and like my brain retained nothing,
Yeah. Yeah,
which
I
I think
feel
is
the
just a
same
stress
way.
response to like everything going on right now.
It's probably something that's, yeah, stress response for everyone just because everything has been so stressful this year.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. Oh, I see Devin said that there's a ton of streams happening right now. You know of 7? Wow, that's quite a few going on right now, but it is NaNoWrimo, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I
Not
thought about
surprised
doing
at
a
all.
pop up today, and then I remembered that y'all were streaming. I was like, I'll just hop between them and then not have to do one.
Yeah, it saves you a little effort on setting up timers and stuff like that.
Oh wow! Sorry, I just loaded up my screen, yeah. And like non-author tubers as well. Like a lot of people are streaming like right this second.
Oh wow. Who's all streaming? Anyone?
So Caro is streaming, Jace is streaming, Mega is Mega Vital is streaming,
Mhm.
Nicole is still streaming, Word Stitch is streaming
Oh
right now.
wow.
These are the ones that it's showing me are
Yeah.
streaming.
Wow, that's quite a few. That's 5 right there.
Yeah, but I know that that list isn't complete because you don't have the little thing next to you. That little I'm live
Oh
thing.
yeah. Oh, okay. That's so
So
weird. I
that's not
don't
even
know
a
why
complete.
YouTube is
And I
ignoring
can,
me.
well, it's not just you. I can see a couple like non-author tubers that are streaming that are in the recommended right now. Like you're in my recommended screen right now,
Oh, okay.
but you're not showing up over there with the little thing saying you're streaming. And I see a couple non-author tubers that are currently streaming that aren't showing as being live over on the subscriptions thing either.
YouTube is weird. Okay, so I think I'm ready for another sprint. I have 1,000 more words to get before I've hit my daily goal, so I want to get some words in. How about a 20 minutes this time?
That sounds good. That will hopefully be enough time for me to figure out if I'm handwriting or typing. Maybe actually even get some words in.
Let me set the timer up real quick. Let me just share the screen again. There we go. And start. All right, how did everybody do? Let's see, that time I got a total of 390 words in, so I got quite a few in. Let's see.
I realized that I need to be a good person and actually make sure I know the story a little bit more before I get started. So I started making sure I understand the backstory and where the story's going. Yeah, yeah,
For your
yeah.
own
Because
writing? Oh,
I had a
okay.
feeling I knew where it was going, and I was like, I could probably just enhance this, but I'm having that year, and I don't trust myself to just try to like I didn't trust you anymore.
My character is actually doing something different, because I'm almost writing a story within a story because the main character is writing her novel at the same time
That's really
as
cool.
I'm writing the novel. Um, so she's having trouble because she's just come up with this new character that she wants to add in, but she has to first think of like, okay, who is this character? What gender is the character? Like, what creature is the character? And so I'm having to go through all this stuff and brainstorm in the story.
That sounds yeah,
It's
that
been a
sounds
lot of
really
fun
fun. I like that.
writing that. Okay, so let's see. Bree said, "Yeah, YouTube has been a prick lately. Yeah, to the YouTube not showing up." The official Nano channel just ended their live stream. Bree got 659 words. Wow. That is quite a bit of words there. That's like half of the nano goal right there. So you must be on your way to hitting your nano goal at least, or say exceeding that, I bet. Oh, let me take the Oh, I don't have the banner up still, do I? Yes, I do have the banner still up. Okay. Yeah, let's see. I don't know. I ran out of conversation.
Are you actually going to be including excerpts from the book the character's writing in your book, or is it just
I think if I do a second, if I decide the story has kind of changed on me, so it's I'm about halfway through and I'm about at the end of where I had planned. So I'm extending the story and kind of adding more to it. And I think in the second, if I do a second draft of it, then I would include um, the story, the actual story in it. I haven't. I've just been kind of writing like, this is what happens in the story, and this is what's going on, and this is what she's writing right now, and so that's how it's going so far. So I think I might do that in the next
because
edit.
I know you're
Wow, Bree says she's at almost 3,000 for the day. That is a lot. That's what I need to
I
be
want to go
hitting.
back to there. I missed that.
Hmm.
I don't know how apropos this will be because I know you're doing a different genre, but one of the things that was really cool that they did with TV shows like Murder She Wrote, where they had a character who wrote books, they
Hmm.
actually released the Jessica Fletcher books.
Oh, that's it.
So
That's
you had the
actually something I'm
story.
tempted to do is to then write the story that she's writing, and except
Yeah,
it's in a different genre than what I write. She's writing a fantasy novel.
because
Um,
it was really neat that you could actually, because you would see her on the TV show and you would see like her typewriter or her notebooks and you'd see the name of the book throughout the series and they would actually release the book that she was writing as a Jessica Fletcher novel.
oh, that's so
So
cool.
there are actually quite a few Jessica Fletcher novels that actually did come out. And I thought that was such a neat idea because like some of the episodes, like the premise for how she would get into the mystery is she would go somewhere because she needed to, do some research for the book. And
Hmm.
then you'd actually get to see the book and what the research actually, was how it actually played into what was going on. It was a neat like way to mix it all together.
That's so cool. Apparently, they did that with Jane the Virgin too. She wrote a book in the
Yep.
show, and they eventually published that book Interesting. I did not know that.
And they did that with How I Met Your Mother, because Barney Stinson writes a book in that
You
series, and they
did.
actually released the book that Barney wrote.
I did not know that. And I used to watch How I Met Your Mother all the time.
Because if you remember the plot line where Barney was talking about how he was going to write a book about how to meet and date women,
Hmm.
he actually did. Like
Oh,
they
that's
released
funny.
that book by Barney Stinson, and it's written entirely in his character voice, and
Oh, that's great.
it is hilarious.
I'm gonna have to check that to see if the library has that because I need to check that out.
Yeah, it's like all the bad dating advice you would expect from Barney.
I bet. I bet. Okay, let's see how much time has passed. Not much time has passed. Um, I was thinking of doing another sprint. Let me leave it to the chat. How long do you want to do the sprint for? I'll let you guys decide. In the
It's
meantime, let me
forever.
forever. Is that what you said?
Yes, forever.
That's probably what Devin is going to suggest. Something like that. Something close to like in the 40 minutes range.
One giant sprint to win them all.
I don't think I could focus for that long. I have trouble focusing during the 20-minute sprints because I just get distracted and I'm like, oh, okay. And then I have to bring myself back to working on the on what I was working on. Let's see. In my project, I'm at 20,567 words. So I'm behind, but not too far behind. Sprint until the pandemic is over. Oh,
Okay, I had
Devin.
a version of a Britney Spears song in my head. We'll sprint until the world ends.
I think that's about the same amount of time, probably. I honestly have no idea when this pandemic is going to be over.
I feel like I should formally apologize for my Britney Spears references. Recently, she's been suing her father to get
Mm-hmm.
control of her estate back.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been following along because it's a fascinating, like,
Mm-hmm. I mean, she really shouldn't be on the conservatorship. Is that I'm just going to leave it at that
yeah, conservatorship.
because that's for people who really can't take care of themselves, and she is not that way.
Well, see, he made a really weird argument, and he actually won the first round because he was like, "There's no point in taking me off because I've been doing such a good job with it that she's made all
Mhm.
this money, so you should just leave me in charge." Like he
Yeah,
actually argued that and kind of won in court.
which is terrible because hasn't she been saying that she's get tired of working and she doesn't want
Mm-hmm.
to? Yeah, so she's being forced to work even though she doesn't want to, which is terrible
Not
in my
how any of
opinion.
that's supposed to happen. Yeah.
I mean, making money should not be her whole purpose in life. That should not be her
Agreed.
reason of existence.
Raison d'être.
Hmm.
Actually, I believe that's just pronounced raison d'être, but there's so many letters in French that you just don't pronounce. I get lost.
French is the hardest language for me to pronounce. Like, I love the Three Musketeers, but half the time I'm just like, I don't know this name. I don't know how to pronounce this name. There's so many letters, but I know half of them are probably silent. So I'm just going to skip over the name. We'll just call you Mr. C and be done
I,
with it.
I feel that because as a big Final Fantasy fan, for Final Fantasy 14, they decided to basically each nation they picked a real world um, culture, and all of the names for the people come from that.
Oh.
And one of the lands that you go to, everybody has like really obscenely long French names that you know that it's not just like the French equivalent of Bob. It's like Bob who walks by the garden at night. You know, like it's like you can actually look at it and go, "Oh, you did." Oh, so many letters, and it's so hard to remember everybody's name because everybody's name is like 5,000 characters long,
Hmm.
and they're all French, and you know that's pronounced like Bob
Yeah.
because French.
French is one of those language. I just don't understand that language at all.
Well, I don't know which is better, French, where half the letters don't get pronounced, or German, where all of them do all the time, constantly. Because it's
Oh yeah.
fun. Sometimes.
Yeah, the only language I really know are the languages that I've studied are Spanish and Italian, and both of those I'm very bad at. But I those languages are much easier to learn than I think French would be, just because of all the pronunciation issues.
Yeah, French and I did not get along when I tried to do French.
Although in Italian, I keep mixing up. There's the hard C and then the soft C, and then
Hmm.
it's hard to figure out which one is which because it's like double C is, I believe, the hard C,
I believe so.
and then like one C is the soft C, so it's almost backwards from English, and it just confuses the heck out of me.
I just cheat with Italian that I know enough Latin and I know the sound changes that went from Latin to Italian that I can understand. I can't speak at
Hmm.
all, but I can kind of read and kind of understand it when I hear it spoken.
Hmm.
And I'm like, that's good enough. I'm good.
Yeah, I've gotten my understanding of the language has gotten better so that I can sort of understand, like when I listen to I love listening to Italian rap music because it amuses me to no end, just because they're all so white, and they're all doing
Yeah.
these rapper things, and it's just like, and then there's a couple who are really cinematic with their music videos, and oh, I need to find the link to this one. Hold on. This is what I need to share. Um,
See, I'm a big fan of British rap, which I think everything sounds better, even anger with a nice, like, West End accent.
mhm.
Just take it better.
Okay, so I found. Oops, hold on. Don't start playing.
Like, this is the house that is, like, filled with British rap, like, all of it.
Hmm. So I'm
Which,
putting it in the chat. Hopefully the link works. But it's called Space Invaders by Salmo, and they're basically the premise of the video is it's these two guys sitting on the couch getting high and watching alien movies, and it's them going through each different like alien movie, um,
nice.
and rapping about it, and it's such a good one of my favorite songs by Salmo.
That's awesome. I'm definitely gonna have to check that out.
Yes, it cracks me up every single time I watch it. I even made my boyfriend watch it, and he enjoys it too. Okay, so I think I'm ready for another sprint. Let's see, how far away am I from?
Well, how
Apparently,
long
I am 71% uh, to my goal today, so I just
is,
have a little
so
bit farther to go.
is that your plan? Are you gonna stream till you hit your goal, or do you have a set end time?
I was thinking 2 hours is probably when I'm gonna try to fit as much as I can within the 2 hours,
Okay.
and then I'll call it a day.
Sounds good.
Well, let me set up the. Oh, I forgot. Did anyone have a suggestion for the timer? Oh, Bree says she's good with any time. So let's just do another 20. Let me reset this. Let me set it up so you can actually see it. Nope, that's not it. That's not it. That's it. There we go.
Pretty soon you're gonna start sounding like me. Those my feet.
All right, we'll start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, how did everybody do? I got that time. How many words did I get? I got 369 words that time, so quite a few. Um, let's see. How did
I have
everybody
learned that
else
my
do?
inability to spell is only getting worse. Oh no, it's like two
Oh
different
no.
words. Oh no, it was like
What were
several
you trying
stupid
to spell
words.
this time?
Warrior, but I kept wanting to put a T in it. I don't know why. I kept typing T's instead of R's, and I don't like the the keys next to each
Interesting.
other, so like it kind of makes sense, but at the same time, like why?
That's funny. Um, my spelling has been pretty good this time, although I was typing so fast that I kept transposing numbers and having to, or no, numbers, letters, and having to go back and fix them over and over again. So that kind of
For the
slowed down my
longest time, this
writing a
character
bit.
wanted to be a Wadiat because I'm assuming that's how you would pronounce warrior if you remove all of the T's and replace them, all the R's and replace them with T's. And I'm like, that's wrong. Let
Hmm.
me rewrite it. Wadiat. No. Why do you keep doing that? So I was like,
What?
I'm going to be smart and I'm going to do this one character at a time. Then I can't mess it up. And then I looked up and I typed Wadiat. And I'm like, why?
Oh no.
I don't understand. Why am I so
That's
bad at it?
Wow, another high number from Bree,
Really?
587 that time. I started really flowing in the end there. My mermaid is transforming for the first time and it is horrid. Ooh, I can't wait to read that. I know Bree has been working on a mermaid YA, I believe it's a YA novel. Um, but it sounds so interesting. I definitely can't wait to read it.
I love mermaids.
I do too. I used to wanna be a mermaid when I was
Same.
a kid. I It was my goal in life to be a mermaid. And then, another thing, my, my great aunt had a pool because we didn't have a pool growing up, but my great aunt had a pool, so we'd go swim at her pool, and, she had a diving board, and I used to pretend to be Pocahontas jumping off the diving board and trying to do the fancy dive that she did, but of course just ending up with a belly flop. Oh, it's an adult fantasy, says Bree.
Ooh.
Even better.
See, I blame it all on Daryl Hannah because I have such fond memories of Splash. Like I haven't seen it in a long time, so I don't know if it holds up as a movie or not.
Mhm.
But as a kid, I loved Splash so much. I was like, I want to be a mermaid.
I don't think I've seen Splash.
It's Daryl Hannah and Tom Hanks. And it's my memory of it is it's a cute rom-com about a mermaid and her beau.
I'm gonna need to write that down because I like mermaids.
But
Splash.
I loved that movie so much and I used to watch it all the time and then Disney did The Little Mermaid and I was like, I'm hooked. I identify with Ariel. Like I don't usually identify with the princesses. I usually identify with the villains, which is
Mhm.
a problem. But Ariel is like the one exception to that. Like,
I always loved her hair. Like, I wanted her
mhm,
hair. Like, when
mm,
we'd go in the pool and we'd go underwater, I'd be like, "Yes, my hair is so, like, mermaidy."
yes,
It's
yes,
just flowing all around me. It's just yes.
same. It made me very happy.
Bree says, "Dark and sexy and terrifying." Ooh.
Ooh, see, you're just saying all the right words.
Yes, I definitely need to read this.
Now hurry up and write it so I can give you money.
Exactly.
No
Nicole
pressure.
says, "Of course, I was planning on coming to your stream after mine if you were still on. So this is awesome that you are still streaming. Yes, I should be streaming for another half hour or so. I said I would do for 2 hours, so I have another half hour to go. Um, let's see. what's been going on in my story. Right now she's preparing to move. She's got to give the cashier's check to the apartment complex with the first month's rent and the deposit, but then she will have her own place finally. And so that'll be exciting. Her parents are not very happy about it, but they've come to accept the fact that she will not be quitting her job and getting a new job, and instead will be moving out because they had issued their ultimatum. Bree says, "Haha, I am glad I have piqued your interest. I will work fast. Good. We appreciate it." Oh, my pitch is an adult Little Mermaid meets the Hunger Games.
Ooh, that really sounds interesting.
Yes.
I'm
Yes, I remember you saying there was like a contest that's going on that I want to know more details, Bree. Give me more details.
I want to make sure I am subscribed to you. I am. Yay. Okay. I just wanted to make sure because that's been a problem lately.
I
Where
luckily haven't
sometimes
had any problems with YouTube unsubscribing me from people. I haven't noticed it at least, but I don't really follow that many people, so
it
um,
undinged the bell, so I redinged the bell, but I was still subscribed.
gotcha. I don't bother ringing the bell because it never does anything.
Well, see, the one thing that I've noticed is the channels that I've hit the bell for seem to show up in my subscriptions and in my recommended a lot more than
Mhm.
channels I don't.
Oh.
So even though, yeah, I'm with you and I don't often get the actual notifications like it's supposed to do, it does seem to take it as a signal that you want to know that they have a new video.
Mhm. I think YouTube just knows who I click on the most to go watch their videos because those are always at the top, um, of the, list of people you follow, and so it's usually pretty easy for me to, um, find videos from what I've seen.
Speaking of people that I watch way too many videos of, I finally figured out why Baldy Cats showed up on my Wednesday chat, and
Oh,
I'm
yeah?
really upset that I didn't play along. His new video came out, and he was basically going around to basically every live stream and capturing it when asking the question, "What is globe Earth maths?" Remember when that popped into the chat, and we were all like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "Oh my goodness, is that really Baldy Cats?" He basically was getting video of various streamers going, "That makes no sense. What are you doing? No, that's not really a thing." And if I just would have played along and been like, "No, that's not really a thing," I could might have been in the video. And I'm like, "No!"
Oh, no, that's
Like he got to that part of the video and that started happening. I was like, "That's why you were on my stream in my chat on my stream randomly." Oh my goodness, I missed out on being in one of your videos. No.
that's funny. That's sad, though, but funny.
Well, at least now I know because I was just like, "What in the world are you doing here?" Because I'm not a flat earther. I am not,
Okay.
I'm not spouting weird flat earthery. Why are you here?
Okay, Bree says, okay, basically, my main character is one of seven sisters in a mer kingdom where once the oldest sibling is of age, they enter a tournament where they are given an impossible task to complete in order to ascend to the throne. Essentially, the tasks are meant to kill the weakest links and leave one victor. My main character is tasked to drown the prince of the land kingdom because she once let him go in a shipwreck. And I
Oh,
think that's my pitch. I like
that's
that.
interesting.
I need to read that. So hopefully you finish it
Are
up this nano and maybe I could be a beta reader if you need a beta reader.
are you doing a full play on the Hans Christian Andersen thing? Because in the original Little Mermaid, the Hans Christian Andersen one, everything she's doing is not to get a boyfriend; it's to get a soul. Because mermaids don't naturally have souls,
Mm.
and so everything she's doing is to earn a soul for herself.
Oh.
And so the motivations are very different in the original story. And that's kind of like a I could see some weird plays on that with that setup.
Yeah, I bet. Um, doesn't isn't the Hans Christian Andersen one the one where she ends up as sea foam, or does she end up as like a star or something?
Actually, she ends up as a ghost at the end. She sacrifices herself to save the prince, And in so doing, she is rewarded by not completely collapsing into foam and disappearing for all time, and is allowed to be a ghost. And if she continues to be good for the next 300 years, they will actually give her a spirit and she'll get to go to heaven.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's
That's a
how
long
the
time
actual
to be a
story goes.
ghost, though. 300 years is quite a long time.
Yeah, the Hans Christian Andersen one is much more of a morality tale than the Disney one.
Okay. Yes, definitely Anderson version, not Disney. Yes, I can definitely see it's not Disney. And I will definitely keep you in mind for betas. Thank you.
Woohoo!
Yes, I appreciate that. I love beta reading. It's definitely one of the more fun things to do out there is beta read. Although I always struggle with figuring out how like what I want to say in the comments when I'm commenting on the work. That's the one thing I struggle with. Like sometimes I don't feel like I leave enough comments. I want to be as helpful as possible, but I don't feel like I leave enough comments to be as good of a beta reader as I could be. I
Well,
wish they had like lessons on how to be a better beta reader.
there are some videos out there about that. One of the things that I like to do when I send stuff out to alphas and betas is I will create a Google form that has
Mhm.
questions that I blatantly stole from various other people that do this. So if you just do a search for alpha reader or beta reader questionnaire, you can find them.
Mhm.
And then that way, after they've read it, if they didn't leave comments, I ask them to fill that out, and then I at least get some feedback on some of the more important things that may or may not need
Mhm.
fixing.
Yeah, not everybody gives questions to answer, which
Yeah.
is a little frustrating for me because then I'm like, well, what do I focus on? What do I, because sometimes I get hung up on things like grammar and, not grammar, but punctuation and stuff like that. Um,
Yeah, I've had to ask some people that I was beta reading for. I was like, or which stage are you at? Because if you want me to go into like editor mode, I can start marking up like anything that I see that wise. But if you're still doing developmental
mhm.
edits, then the words are probably going to change before the last one. So there's no point in focusing on them.
Mm,
Because yeah, I like to put those in as well when I beta for people, if that's what they're looking for.
mhm.
And then there's
Yes, I
more
have a
people like
Google
you that
form
I
as
just like
well.
mark the whole document up, and I'm like, make a series of stories. I want children's books.
I still need to finish editing the Itchy story, Itchy the Hedgehog story. Um, I haven't quite figured out how to make it funnier. You know, you made the
Yeah,
suggestion to make it more like a comical, and I'm having trouble figuring out how to do that and to make it more of a story and less of a vignette.
I really enjoyed it, and it just made me feel like it was like the beginning of like a series of like picture books for kids, because I could just
Mhm.
like see the drawings that would go along with every little thing that she was doing, and I was like, I love this.
Yeah,
It
it
made me very
reminds me
happy.
there's this book I had as a kid full of all the like Mother Goose tales, kind of like that kind of book. And in it, they were obsessed with hedgehogs for some reason. And so it just reminds me of those hedgehogs, those little cartoon hedgehogs, every time I read it.
Yeah, I can see. I can see how that could be a thing. I really, I don't know. I also have to warn people that like if you accidentally turn my editor on, I can become a real jerk. So be careful what you ask for.
Oh, I definitely appreciate the more um, not what's the word I'm looking for? Stricter um, editing just because it helps me grow so much. I definitely have found that getting feedback on my work has helped me grow as a writer and helped me like fix my thinking when I'm writing the story.
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna have to send out primers with some of the newer stuff that I'm doing, because like one of the stories I'm working on right now, it's being written in a voice I've never written in before. It's in first person omniscient.
Mm,
because it's actually being narrated by a deity in the setting.
interesting.
So it has all of the eyes and all of that in there, but it also, she knows what everyone is thinking. So it can get into the POV of the other characters as well.
Mhm.
And
That's
it's
interesting.
yeah, it's been really fun to write about. When I found out that that existed, I was like, I have a story idea that would be perfect to try that. But it looks a little strange because when you, unless you like keep bearing in mind, like, no, she's literally a goddess. She knows what everyone's thinking. And then I started thinking like that would be a really cool way to write like a telepath story.
Oh, yeah. I've always wanted to have the ability to read people's minds. That's been, like, the superpower that I've want every time anyone asks that. Um, oh, Bree says, "Ooh, that sounds so cool." So, you have another, cheer for that story. Um, what was I saying? I lost my train of thought.
You always wanted to be a telepath.
Oh, yeah, I always wanted to be a telepath to read, other people's minds because, well, just because. I don't really have a good reason for why, but, that's been my
Yeah, I actually have a list
superpower.
of various persons and stuff that I've never written before, and like that one's on the list. I really want to write something in third person collective, which is
What
or
is
in
third
first
person
person collective.
collective?
Collective is where it comes from the point of view of we.
Oh,
So
interesting.
it's really neat. I've actually read a couple books in this, and so the main narration is from the point of view of we, but it can occasionally break off into, one of the characters will break off from the collective and go into like third person narration for a while
Mhm.
and then come back and rejoin, and sometimes there's conflict between the various voices within the collective. It's a really interesting
It sounds
interesting
like something that would be good if you were writing about someone with multiple personalities.
Yeah,
Um,
it's also really good for writing group stuff
mhm.
because I've also read some family fiction that uses first person collective.
You're actually probably a good person to ask for. I have a question about my own work. I've been having trouble figuring out how to name what to name the mother and father. Like I have their names, but how to like I don't want to just keep calling them Alex's mom and Alex's dad and or I don't want to call them like Donna and Michael, which is their names. It just doesn't sound quite right. So, do you
Oh,
have any tips on getting how to refer to
oh,
them?
that could be tricky. Um, some ways that's handed. What person are you writing in? Is it first or third?
Third person.
Okay, so you could in when you introduce them or in the narration about them, you could always say, her mom, Donna, blah 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 blah,
Mhm.
and go on, because I, are you trying to do? Are you doing third person omniscient or are you doing third person deep POV?
Um, third person DPOV.
Okay, so remember that even if so first third person DPOV is a lot like first person, but it allows you some of these cheats in that as long as it's information your character would have, it
Mhm.
can be included in the narration even if it's not natural for
Mhm.
somebody to say that. Because so like if it was in first person it might be odd if they were like, my mother Donna Noble. Sorry, don't know her full name. I'm just I thought you said Donna.
Her last name is Glass.
Okay, so my mother, Donna Glass, like that can sound weird in first
Mhm.
person, but because you're in third, you could always say her mother, Donna Glass,
Mhm.
and introduce
It's
her that way.
it's just when I have trouble when it comes to uh speaking tags. Oh, Bree has got to run now, unfortunately, but thank you for the sprint. I love sharing my pitch with you guys and wrote 1,351 for the entire stream.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
Congratulations. And we'll see you guys or see you later.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. That
Yeah, I
is
can't wait to read your book.
crazy big. I know, right?
Fascinating.
Crazy big numbers. That
See,
just means you're close that much closer to the end and that much closer to us reading it. Yes.
one thing that might help you with that is to use the name to show irritation on the part of your character. So
Mhm.
maybe the madder she gets, the more likely it is that instead of mom said, it would be Donna said.
Okay, so I can see myself going from, like, mom to mother to Donna,
Yeah.
the name, changing
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that could be really fun because it's also showing this, like, distancing opening
Mhm,
up in the text. That
mhm.
could be a really fun way to use that.
That was good advice. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I'll have to use that. Um, okay, so I think we've got, like, 15 minutes left, so I think we'll do a just a 15-minute sprint.
Alrighty.
Let me set this up real quick. Let me set this up so you can actually see the screen. There we go.
That can be handy.
All right, we'll start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, how did everybody do? I got 367 words that time, and I hit my NaNoWrimo goal for the day. I've got 2,021
That's
words for the
awesome.
day. So, yes, so I have finally hit my goal. So I can now take the rest of the day off or continue writing if I
That's
feel
always
like
a
it.
great feeling.
Definitely. Yeah.
I
How'd you do?
tried to figure out what I was going to do for lunch and had no luck there. Yeah.
Lunch?
Well,
It's a little
like I
late
said,
for
our time
lunch,
we're
isn't
kind
it?
of time shifted as far as when we get up and stuff, and I've not had lunch yet.
Oh,
So
yeah, that's right.
I have no
So what are
idea.
you
I
planning
have
for
no idea. Like
lunch?
I looked
Anything
at a bunch of
delicious?
things and I'm like, nothing sounds good. So I don't know. I have to figure something out. Like I have like a desire, like I have a craving, but I don't know what it's for. You know what I'm saying? That feeling like I want a very specific
Mhm.
thing. I don't know. Yeah, yeah.
But I
And
don't know what
everything that
that
I look
very
at is like,
specific
not
thing
that, not
is.
that, not
Yeah.
that, not that. So,
Yeah. For some reason, I'm in the
ooh,
mood
that
for
does.
some pad thai noodles, but we don't have any more. We're
See,
all
I think what
out.
it is I'm craving ramen, and we don't have ramen, and I don't want to make
Oh,
ramen. Like I know how to make ramen noodles. It's not that hard. I just don't want to do it.
yeah.
So, because I think that's what I want is I just want a noodle bowl. Like,
Mhm. That sounds good. Sounds good right now.
but I started putting together the elements of the story into a coherent like bit and figuring out what parts I need to flesh out a little bit better before I start writing.
Nice.
So
That's good. Let me just stop sharing the screen now that we're done with all the sprints. I don't know who's left here. I think there's me and one other person. Because I'm only seeing two people, so I don't think anyone else is in the chat. So no numbers to update there. Then.
see, I don't even know if once I start writing again, I'm going to be doing numbers
hmm
out loud. I I got into a place in my head with numbers that was very toxic, and like I don't know, like I don't fault anybody else who does it because if it works for you, yay.
hmm
And I'm still kind of tracking tracking numbers. It's just I don't know. I'm
So
really on the
how's
fence
are
about that.
you kind of giving up on Millwordy then, or
I'm not. Like I said, I'm still kind of tracking my
mhm,
numbers and what I'm doing. I'm just not talking about them and I'm not thinking about them
obsessing over them? Yeah.
because it was doing that update video every week and I might start doing them monthly. I don't know. But it was sitting there doing the update and just like feeling guilty on like, oh, I have several zero count days and it looks like I got nothing done. But it's like I did like 5 pictures and I did,
Mm,
like I did other creative things that just didn't count. It was like a
yeah.
big thing. So I don't know. I just got into my head in a bad way.
hmm
So
So yeah, then it's probably a good idea that you're taking a step back from counting so closely all your numbers and things like that.
yeah, that's also why, I just stopped making video videos for a while. I was like, I don't know what to do if I'm not doing like Millwordy update videos.
I need to figure out what I want to start filming for my videos because I don't really have. I still need to finish reading the second half of my um, the Camp Nano project. I was starting that, and I still need to finish reading that. But other than that, I don't really have any video ideas because it's not like I can. I'm not really the kind of person to give advice. I'm more the kind of person who accepts advice. Um,
No, I get that.
so I just don't know what kind of videos to film. Oh, actually, I do have a a question for you, sort of. Um, in May, I'm coming up on my 10-year anniversary of triggering my lupus. So I kind of wanted
Ooh.
to do something special because I like to, even though it's like one of the most tragic days of my life. It's also one of the best days of my life because it kind of, I don't know, it's weird like that.
Oh no, I
So
totally get that.
so I like to celebrate it, and I was wondering, I was thinking of doing something author to be to do it, but
Ooh,
I don't know what. So if you have any ideas, or if anyone
I
has any ideas,
I will
let me know.
definitely let that marinate in the brain box for a while to see what comes out, because that I think that could be really interesting, because I think it's important to celebrate everything,
Mhm,
even the bad things,
mhm,
because because people don't understand, like, celebration doesn't always mean like, yay, this is the greatest thing ever, yay. It's commemoration is such an important part of life, and it's a
mhm,
part that we miss so often.
mhm,
And through developing a proper relationship with events of our past, it helps us to incorporate them so that we don't just ruminate on them and make them
mhm,
problematic.
mhm. And it definitely, something like getting an autoimmune disease can be problematic if you aren't careful with the way you approach it.
Mhm.
You can approach it in a really unhealthy way, or you can approach it in a healthier way. And um, hopefully, I'm approaching it in a healthier way. That's my goal.
See, I kind of have that as well, because like June 16th is the day I gave myself arthritis.
Oh yeah.
So, because that's the day that I fell and I hurt my leg and destroyed the cartilage in it.
Hmm.
Like, and so yeah, I get where you're coming where you're coming from, because like that is the day that everything changed.
Yeah, mine was, I was in the shower and I cut my leg shaving, and that triggered the autoimmune response for my lupus, and my knee swelled up, and then it was a whole to do. There's a whole story
Mm.
behind it, but yeah, it was just cutting my leg shaving, something that you do like every day practically, and just that day was the day that it triggered my autoimmune disease. So
Yeah,
yeah.
and that's not uncommon. My brother triggered one that I don't think I have to worry about, okay, but it's a genetic condition, so he got it partially from dad, but as I understand it, you have to get the gene from both your parents, and we have a
Hmm.
different mother, so I should be okay.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh. But yeah, he cut himself working,
Ooh.
and that triggered it for him. Yeah.
Yeah, or is it Shannon? Yeah, it's Shannon Box. She's the Olympic soccer player. She also has lupus. She got it from um, kicking the ball and like stubbing her toe too hard,
Mm,
and so that's how her lupus was triggered. So I thought that was always interesting.
that is.
I
I
got
would have
to
thought
meet her
about
at one of the lupus walks of lupus lupus something of America Lupus Something of America, one of their walks for raising money. I got to meet her there. She's really sweet. She and I had the same, she was diagnosed by the same doctor that I was. So I thought that was interesting.
and honestly, I would like to do more around this. Like I was talking last night about how I was thinking about trying to put together a an anthology to raise money for charity. My
Hmm.
sister has lupus,
Oh,
so
okay.
yeah, that actually might be an organization to look at for one of those
Hmm.
projects.
I really like my old doctor, Dr. Wallace, has his own charity, and they do pretty good work, I think. The Lupus Foundation of America. That was the word I was looking for. Foundation. The Lupus Foundation of America. They're also another. They do pretty great work with getting people in Congress. Uh, Getting money for lupus research and things like that. So they're a pretty good organization too.
That's cool.
Yeah. Okay, well it is 12:13, so I or 12:13. It has been 2 hours and 13 minutes since we've started this, so I think I'm going to call it now. Do you want to do an outro?
Sure. Hello, if you don't know who I am by now, or if you missed the beginning for some reason, my name is Charlie. I do streams on my channel every Wednesday and Thursday. And if I'm a good person, I have things up. I actually do right now have things up where you can set reminders for them if that's a thing that you want to do. I also do way too many podcasts, and I'm working on a bunch of stuff right now, but I'm zeroing in on my sci-fi stuff because it's giving me life right now. So if you'd like to know more about that, go to worldanvil.com/Baron's End, and you can find all the stuff that I'm doing there.
Sounds good. Well, we are on my channel. My name is Megan McCarthy. Um, I write contemporary or not nonfiction, contemporary fiction. Um, and I try to post videos, but I haven't been posting them lately because of my new job. But hopefully, I'll be starting to post videos soon. And then hopefully, I'll be doing some more of these live sprints as the month goes on. We'll see. Other than that, I think that's it for today. Thank you guys for showing up, and I hope you all have a wonderful afternoon. And I'm going to end the broadcast now.
Have the fun. Bye.
Bye.